When buying or selling your home, call Leo Bato. He has years of experience in real estate, showing honesty and integrity in every transaction. He's a person you can definitely trust. So book your appointment with Leo Bato today by giving him a call at 818-648-4837 or by visiting him on the web at www.leobato.realtor.
Rejuvenate your smile with Dr. Lourdes Capelong's comprehensive range of dental solutions. Along with general dentistry, Dr. Capelong specializes in cosmetic dentistry, including teeth whitening, bonding, dental veneers, and surgical crowns. Whether it's urgent care or preventive treatment, she'll take care of you and your smile. To schedule an appointment, call the clinic at area code 323-257-7582.
This episode is brought to you by ABA E-Services.
Okay, and the podcast will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, live at Paco's Place, Miss Danrochelle Yumul. Yes! Yes!
Thank you for having me.
Alam mo, na-shock ako kasi akala ko maso-surprise ka dahil ang Sweet Escape by Leng, nag-provide sila ng cake for dessert.
Oh, nice.
For this episode. Tama ba naman bigla ka nag-provide ng tacos at saka ng beer? Di ba? Parang all of a sudden, ako ang nawindang. Talagang.
Kasi ang kailangan gawin natin, i-change yung name from Paco's Place to Tacos Place.
Taco Tuesday pa naman ngayon, di ba?
Tuesday.
It's good to have you. It's good to have
Thank
you.
you, sir. Thank you.
We've known each other for, what, decades ba or years? Ano ba?
I've known of you.
We've known of each other.
Yes, of each other. I don't know. I haven't counted.
Try counting it. Try lang.
Okay.
Was it in the 90s or the 2000s?
It was in the 90s. You actually...
Almost 3 decades. Teka, ayusin mo yun yung actually. Baka mamaya may lumabas dyan na hindi ko.
No,
hindi. Sige. No holds barred tayo.
No. Sabi mo.
Sige.
Like, so, the first time I've...
Ang hindi lang natin pwede pag-usapan yung pinag-usapan natin sa dining table.
No. Anong pinag-usapan natin?
Wala! Exactly! Oh, di ba?
Oh my gosh.
Saya, no?
Are we gonna get through this?
We are.
Man.
We are. First and foremost, ikaw ang unang, you and your team were the first people who interviewed us or featured us for Meet the 818, and that deserves a big round of applause. Thank you so much for doing that for us. So, game. Nung 90s, kwento mo sa akin yan.
So, St. Paul. So I went to St. Paul College Pasig. It was intramurals. I think I was a freshman.
Did I play for your batch?
Yes, I think you did.
So, ibig sabihin, girlfriend ko si Melissa nung time na yon, Melissa Buencamino.
I have no clue.
Really? Sina Lala Ventura, you know Lala Ventura?
Yes.
So, Lala Ventura and me wrote Will I Survive by Intro Voice.
Funny thing about that song, so, little tidbit, I do know how to play the guitar. Will I Ever Survive? Yeah. Was one of the songs I learned to play.
Really?
Yes. But if you ask me to play it now, I have no clue.
Pero grabe, no? St. Paul Pasig, na-ban kami ni Pancho Gonzalez doon because we would really, literally hang out sa loob ng classroom nyo. Kaya nung 4th year kayo, walang intrams.
Oh, actually, I think it was a batch older than namin because we were like the
younger. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're younger. So
wait. So, batch mo si Lala, di ba?
Hindi, batch ko si JC Tanseco.
Okay, so younger than Lala.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
so, yung batch ni na Lala, doon ako nagda-drums. So, because...
That's why you were on campus.
Yes. Because of Melissa. She was my girlfriend at the time. And I would hang out sa klase ni Plinky Recto. So, si Sister Nicole, galit na galit. Dahil, why is a guy hanging out at a girls' school sa loob ng classroom?
How did you do it? There are rules, Paco.
Sina Sister Mary Magdalene, sina Sister Nicole, kinaibigan ko silang lahat.
Okay.
Tapos kinaibigan ko rin yung mga bus driver. So nakakaakyat ako sa... So aantayin na ako ng bus driver sa may ano yung condo sa kanto ng Emerald? Hindi Philinvest. Hindi. Basta yung condo ron, di ba? And then pababa na papuntang St. Paul Pasig, paakyat ng ramp. Doon ako sasakay ng school bus. So sina Colleen Ilacad,
Aha.
kabasmate ng ex-girlfriend ko. So diretso na pataas yun.
Got it.
Tapos nahuli ni Sister Nicole na umaakit ako sa loob ng classroom. O yun, tinanggal ang intrams. That was bad. Really, really bad. Worse. So you were younger than sina Bat ng batch?
Way younger. So, I mean,
So who's your batch? Colleen Ilacad?
No, my batch is 97. So, Kat Ilacad.
Si Kat. Who's younger than Colleen?
Yeah.
Yes.
JC Tenseco, Cara Ponce Enrile.
Grabe, no?
Yeah.
So isipin mo, naabutan ko pa na dati. Wala pang gym nun. It was just the quad, the shed. Naabutan ko yun.
Wow.
Nagre-recess ako doon, like I was...
You are such a young man, sir.
And nakakatawa. I passed by St. Paul a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And pag nakikita ko yung gym, na masaya na malungkot because batch ni Nalala yung dapat unang gagamit ng gym.
Yeah.
Pero hindi nagkaroon ng intrams. Although nagkaroon ng variety show, andun sina Mike Luis, andun lahat ng mga nakatugtog ang intro voice and all that. But we never got to do the intramurals nung nagawa na yung gym.
Yeah.
And I never got to play. I never got to play sa intrams nung ano.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to. Kahit sa edad ko na 51, I'd do the harmless.
I was like, wait, do you need a special pass?
Harmless na ako. Pwede na mag-faculty.
Uso ba restraining order sa Pilipinas?
Putangin na, parang hindi ko yata. Okay.
It's okay. Kaya mo yan. We got this. You got this.
Meet the 818. Oh,
Yes.
it was like serious.
I know. Like, wow, shifting gears.
I know. I remember when we've been communicating via Facebook.
Yes.
This passion for writing, and you write well because
Thank you.
I mean, people can watch the organic interview that you did for us, and at the same time, when they read it, it's so glossy, if you know what I mean. Ang ganda ng pagkasulat, tapos ang kengkoy ng pagka-interview. That's talent. To me, talent yun eh. Yung the writing bug, when did it hit you?
Oof. I've always wanted to be a writer. Pero, Philippine culture, it's always you're either a nurse, you're an accountant, you're an engineer. So it's never... how do... I blanked out.
I'm here.
Completely blanked out. What's it called? So I've always been writing, any form, any whatever. But
Do you journal?
I do. I journaled ever since I was yay high.
Sarap, di ba? Ako ay journal also. So when you started writing at nakita ng parents mo na, oh my God, mukhang si Danrochelle gusto maging writer, did they stop you?
You need to be an accountant.
Sinabihan ka na gano'n. What was the feeling like?
No.
But what was the feeling like na passion mo yung writing eh, and it shows in your work. But when you have parents who think they know what's best for you, how does it feel? How did it feel?
How do I say this? And I'm filtering.
Mukha yung paper towel natin, baka pupunta talaga.
No, hindi. Keep the paper towel. I think I can get through this. No problem.
Okay. And no filtering, ha?
No filtering. I'm trying to set the tone.
Okay.
So, I'm the eldest of 4 girls. So, as the eldest, there's that added...
You have to set the precedent, no?
Exactly. So, most panganays that I know always have like this double...
Yeah.
This double life. Well, it's not a double life, but you have to like...
Yeah, be a good example.
Exactly. You have like this one example and then
you.
Yes. So I had to set the example. So it's just like I didn't pursue it, not full on.
So hindi ka nag-masscom?
Hindi, no.
What did you take in college?
So I was writing for the school paper. So it wasn't completely abandoned. I was writing for Polyworld at St. Paul. I was writing when we moved here. I was writing for the school paper. So in college I took computer science.
Ang layo, no?
Right? Pero I'm glad I did because yung basic ng programming. Like if you have that background, you can pick up.
But the reluctancy, let's talk about that because yung pagre-rebelde.
Yes.
Like what was the conflict like? What was your inner demons telling you? And how were you battling all this? This is my passion. And we're not even talking about a guy. This is you and your passion, di ba? Minsan mas matindi pa nga yun eh. You and your passion and the example you have to set for your 3 other siblings.
Right.
Because pag nagrebelde ka, shame on you dahil magre-rebelde rin yung 3 sa magulang mo eh.
Exactly. So you have to...
So paano yung laban doon?
That's deep, man. When did we go from like, yay, so much fun, and then, so tell me.
Iyaakot ko rin to. Pero di ba, I mean...
Yeah. I don't think I quite processed it with the rebelling side. It's more of like, do what you got to do, set the example, because in the end, you have to be that person. You have to be that leader na make sure na everybody
followed.
Now,
did you know that you were going to migrate to the States?
I did not. So this is a whole story, Paco, and like
This is your episode.
So
take your time.
Take my time. No, because I need to go home. And
okay,
people need to go to sleep. Look, Mike and Ivy are tired.
Pero masaya to, ha? Okay, go.
So my dad used to work in Saudi Arabia. After he was an accountant, so my dad was an accountant.
In Saudi.
He worked in the Philippines under SGV. So,
okay.
But then he moved to Saudi Arabia. Worked for the British American.
How long? For how long?
Let's see, 80. Probably like 3 years, 4 years.
So 3-4 years. How old were you?
I was 3. So he applied for family status. So
time out, ha?
Okay. Sabi ko mahaba to.
That's fine. You were 3 years old.
Yeah.
Nagtrabaho siya sa SGV Saudi Arabia.
No, sa SGV sa Pilipinas.
Tapos ibang company sa Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, tapos ibang company sa
And he was
Saudi
there
Arabia.
for 3 years.
He was there in and out, like probably 3 years, yeah.
Pero nakaanak siya ng 3 pa habang in and out siya sa...
No.
Ooh. Kita mo?
I was like, wait. I was like, I'm feeling like Shrek right now. I'm like an onion.
Pero nakapanood ka ng episode sa Paco's Place, no? You know this is gonna happen, right?
I do. I know. I was prepared. I was like, don't worry about it. You got this. So
3 other siblings. Dad left when you were 3. Paano lumabas yung 3?
So, hindi. So, he was coming back. Like, di ba, may bakasyon naman sila.
Para
like,
makapag-deposit, di ba? Parang gano'n yung dating.
Papatayin ako ng nanay ko pag napanood na itong episode na to.
Tita, pinainom po ako, ha? Kaya wala po akong inhibitions ngayon. Okay, go.
So, actually, no. 3 years. And then, yung second one namin, so dalawa na kami when we went to Saudi and stayed there for a little bit kasi my grandfather had petitioned everyone. So my mom's side, maternal grandfather. So we were just the original plan was from Saudi Arabia, we get the petition, we move to then States.
Okay.
That didn't happen kasi nagsarado yung project.
Ouch.
So at this time, 3 na kami.
So yung pangatlo pinanak sa Saudi?
Yes.
Okay.
So after that, we came back sa Pilipinas. So the whole migrating was not even like a thing. So my dad was already establishing himself. At the time na magmamigrate na kami, like, mga 95, 96. Or at the time, Dad was already like CFO ng Surges, chocolate company. And we, well established.
Surge, no?
Yes, chocolate. So every week.
Accountant.
Financial officer, chief.
Okay.
So
CFO.
CFO siya. So it was my junior year, like talagang established na kami, dumating yon, nilakad nila just because they wanted to see where it goes. So that was a whole year. So finally, magsi-senior year na ako.
College?
No, senior year ng high school.
High school? Oh, shoot.
So sinabi, we're going. pack everything, say goodbye.
Anong feeling?
It was the saddest day of my life.
Can you as a writer, because you're a writer, can you elaborate? Because there are kids right now who are probably going through that as they're watching your episode.
Yeah.
And they couldn't articulate how they feel. How did it feel? May barkada ka, may ambition ka sa Pilipinas, meron kang goals, meron kang dreams. Hindi dinisclose sa'yo. All of a sudden, pack your bags, we're leaving. How did that feel?
Oof. That was rough. That was, in the deepest Tagalog I can express, it's parang pinagtakloban ka ng langit at lupa.
Talaga? Parang, okay.
It was depressing because at that time, I also had my first boyfriend. So
what was the conversation like with the first? Hi, shout out nga pala kay Dennis ha. So, since wala ka, kailangan namin pag-usapan to. Makinig ka na lang. Whiskey tayo pag nakita tayo. Okay, go.
Well, Dennis is my only and always.
So siya talaga?
No, hindi.
Ikaw nag-disclaimer ka.
I know.
So may safety ka eh.
Always. To protect other people.
Okay. So si boyfriend sa Philippines.
Yes.
Wala siyang clue dahil wala ka rin clue.
No,
correct?
actually, I knew a couple months before we were leaving. So,
Okay. I-rewind ko ha. Nung time na naging kayo ni boyfriend, you didn't know you were leaving.
No, I didn't.
Sige,
No, I was.
Uminom ka muna para.
Liquid courage.
So, nung time na naging kayo ni boyfriend, hindi mo alam na aalis ka.
No.
So, ang sarap nun. So, first boyfriend ba to?
Yes.
So, ibig sabihin, may mga plano-plano, di ba? May mga dreams of the future, di ba? Ganun yung dating nun. That's how it is, right?
But it's so funny now that we're like this grown up and we look back and it's like, oh my God, how much of an... Oh, sorry.
Yes.
How innocent.
How innocent, right?
How
but then again,
innocent it was.
but imagine this.
Yeah.
It's enough na may innocence eh. Pero yung innocence na lalagyan mo ng trauma.
Yeah, that's
right?
rough.
Yun yung nangyari sa'yo eh.
Yeah.
So, may aspiration, tapos biglang while you guys were probably weeks or months into the relationship, biglang, boom, punta tayo States. How do you break it down? How do you break the news to your boyfriend?
Phone calls, man.
So,
it was rough. I don't remember the exact details, but just
yung emotions. Can
the
you articulate the
emotions.
emotions?
It was, you were bereft. I
Pucha naman term yung bereft na yun. Kahit ako kailangan, Google ko yung bereft.
There was a deep sense of loss.
Okay, sasabi na sinabi ko.
Sorry. Sabi mo, vocabulary.
Okay, fine.
I'm following your lead.
Audience, bereft. Okay, go.
Vocab word.
So, pero masakit, no?
Yeah, syempre. Pero
How did he take it?
not well. From what I remember,
Yeah.
not well. But
Did you break up? Or
we did.
Or nag-try ka mag-long distance relationship?
Nagtry kami mag-long distance relationship, but it didn't.
Why did it not work?
It's not the same. Back in the day, letters,
Phone
snail
card.
mail, phone card. Email was like a new thing. You're either on CompuServe or AOL. Tapos,
You've got mail.
you've got mail.
100 hours free on a CD-ROM.
Exactly. So it wasn't the same. And I think because he was older, so he kind of just felt like he was holding me back. I have this new life and, all that. So
How old?
Just 2 years.
Hindi 16 years na.
Hindi 16 years. May mga issues pag ganun nang nangyari.
Naiiyak na ako.
Kasalanan mo to.
Iinom na ako.
Oh, man.
My God, ang saya ng podcast na to. Okay, go. So kailan kayo Paano kayo naghiwalay?
Oh my gosh. So long ago.
Malamang.
First year college,
So LDR was for a while.
For a while. So
Ang hirap, no? Lalo pag nag-aaway kayo, tapos ubos na you got 2 minutes left.
The thing is, hindi kami nag-out. Like, it was a really smooth relationship.
So how did you break up? And why did you break up?
This episode is brought to you by Leo Bato and Associates, ang realtor na patok.
I don't remember the reason, but I distinctly I distinctly remember. Are you sure you want this episode to go out into the universe?
This is one of the candid episodes. Ano ka ba? Okay, go.
Sabi mo walang beauty pageant answer.
Wala,
so
wala,
hello.
wala. Truly Lee.
Truly Lee.
Uh,
So it was more of like he had his own life, I have my own life,
and that's sad, di
yeah,
ba?
it's sad.
And you know what? I guess sa mga nag-LDR, you really have to make a conscious decision and effort na kahit malayo kayo sa isa't isa, kailangan pareho kayo ng buhay eh. Hindi pwede mag-iba yung buhay nyo. Una-una yung time difference pa lang, yung napapatay sa'yo eh.
Yeah, and plus the age of where we were at. I mean, it's too young. Like, when you're where were you at when you were 16, 17?
True, no? So now, nung naghiwalay kayo, in college, you pursued what? Computer science.
So I took computer science for 1 year and said, forget it. Math. Calculus? Nope.
Not for you.
Nope. Not for me.
Okay.
So I took psychology. So may BA akong psychology.
Which is good.
Yes.
Because you interview people.
I do. But the reason I took it was the other part is I also wanted to help people. So
As what?
Social worker, so
Really?
so
So sinabi mo talaga when you were a kid, when I grow up, I want to be a social worker.
no, when I grow up I want to be a writer.
So right?
But
So ito ang question. Why would you even settle to be something na hindi mo pinangarap maging?
pero teka lang, may compromise.
Compromise.
Minor ko is creative writing.
Okay. So kumbaga, na-snuck in yun nang hindi nahalata ng parents mo na.
Exactly. So it's always like that. It's always like, eto yung big picture, pero may compromise ng konti. So it was never truly like yung feeling na hindi ko magawa.
Right.
It's more of like, okay, well, I'm doing this, but I'm doing this.
Right.
So it's always like congruent.
Yes.
May alignment,
Yes.
of sorts. So may compromise ng konti. So it wasn't really...
So creative writing, I like the way you write.
Thank
It's
you.
very, hindi siya fluff. It's pizzazz. Alam mo yun? Kumbaga, kasi ang fluff parang bullshit yan eh, di ba?
Yeah,
Parang,
no.
Hindi. Yung sa'yo, like you say, bereft, di ba? But it really means
Big loss.
big loss, di ba?
It was like big loss of certain things.
Of certain things. Sabi ko nga, yun ang ibig ko sabihin, pinapaganda mo, may pizzazz. Pag nung nabasa ko yung article about Paco's Place, sabi namin ni na Michael Abad din na JJ Buen Camino, ang ganda.
Thank
Pag
you.
pinanood mo kami, hindi ganun kami magsalita, pero pag binasa mo kami, class.
You gotta keep it classy, man.
And I like that.
Classy.
I like that. So this tone of voice, how did you develop it?
I don't know. It just kind of flows like that.
Explain.
When I meet someone or when I try to feature someone, I try to walk in their shoes. Like, what are they feeling? How are they, what is this dream that they're pursuing, their passion? So when I get that, it's kind of like I'm trying to channel, like, what's the lens of how they're seeing this? And then I'm just the storyteller. I'm just telling their story. So parang may opinion pero walang opinion. So you kind of have to balance that out.
How easy is it or how hard is it to just listen and not give your own opinion because you're writing about someone?
You really have to hold back.
And sometimes hindi kayo pareho ng opinion, di ba?
Yes.
So what do you do? You hold back.
I do, because the thing is, like, when you're featuring someone, it's not about you. It's about them. So it doesn't matter if their opinion's different from you. It's them.
Right.
Like Meet the 818 is about
The valley.
the valley, A. B, it's the people in the valley. And the
Right.
approach is very Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
Right.
So it's the thread that connects us all, because people always, I feel that sometimes it's the differences are what's focused. hindi nila
commonality.
Yeah, yung common ground, like the common ground stuff, like, and just that's just in my head. That's how it should be.
Right.
If that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense because ang tanong ko sa iyo ngayon is, pag nag-uusap kayo ng asawa mong si Dennis, do you listen or does the opinion come out of your mouth big time? Hindi, kasi ganito yan.
No, actually.
Really?
Okay, so.
He might be watching. Dennis.
It's okay. He can watch. He knows. So, for example, I'm very careful with my words that come out.
Ooh, that's nice.
With my husband and with my...
Not because of fear, but because of respect, right?
No, because I know the power of words.
Thank you. Can you explain, before you continue, can you explain to our viewers? Because you know what? That's very true. Like I always tell my kids, I am proud of you no matter what you do.
Yeah.
By default, I am proud of you. Now you have to ask yourself, are you proud of yourself?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing you can do that will not make me proud of you. And I think those words of mine give them confidence to be who they want to be. So let's go back to the power of words sa'yo.
And I think as a going back to what you're saying, it's yung pag narinig ng anak mo yon, that gives them confidence and the knowledge na they know where they stand as a son or as a daughter, which is amazing.
That they can do anything na gusto nilang gawin as long as proud sila sa ginagawa nila, di ba?
Yeah, as long as it doesn't involve sitting in the couch all day with the potato chips.
Parang pinaparinig mo yan. Parang, Dennis!
No, not Dennis.
Phoebe!
No, not Phoebe either. No.
Mami? Okay, so let's talk about pag nagtatalo kayo at nag-usap kayo ni Dennis, because again, the power of words is in your favor. Yeah. You're articulate, you're a writer, you use words na the common people, kami mga peasants, hindi namin ginagamit. So, paano mo nakokontrol yun para maging patas ang argument niyong mag-asawa?
Well, here's the thing. Dennis is equally as witty and smart.
Yes, pero pag nakita mo...
He's a teacher.
Pag kayong dalawa, pag nasa labas, introverted siya pag nasa labas eh.
True.
Ikaw extrovert ka eh. So, pag ba kayong dalawa magkasama, is he very opinionated or does he let you...
It depends on the situation and who the people are. So, if he's comfortable, then, everything will fly.
So, parang siyang ambivert, no? Parang ganon.
Yeah, parang ganon. Like, everything will fly. No holds bar. Because this is Dennis and he will tell you exactly what's on his mind. But back to the power of words.
Yes.
Because, growing up, like, how many times have you heard parents say na ang tanga-tanga mo naman, or like pag nag-aaway yung mga mag-asawa, like they're just like battling
loser
it out.
Ka, di ba?
Yeah. But the thing is, like, especially with my husband, he takes it in. If I say something, he will change it. Like whatever.
Explain that.
So for example, sasabihin ko, you're too messy, or the clothes need to be in a hamper, or blah, blah, blah.
Talaga nilaglag mo, ha? Pinapa-explain ko lang, nilaglag mo talaga. Okay, go.
Well, I mean, example lang. Hindi naman yun yung exact na ano. Pero... sabay bumawi. Okay. Example lang. Hypothetical. So, like, talagang backpedal, yes. Pero wala nang backpedal.
I know.
Sorry. So, gagawin niya talaga.
Really?
Like, he will, like, whatever I would, pag may sinabi ako, talagang babaguhin niya. So
which is good. Respeto yun eh.
Well, yes and no. It's because I said something.
How about if he said something, babaguhin mo yun sa'yo?
Of course. Because if it hurts his feelings.
So, hindi respeto ang tawag doon?
Yes, respeto ang tawag.
Right ba? Respeto
you're
yun.
Right.
Paano kayo nagkakilala?
College. So...
so psychology rin.
Hindi.
Computer science.
Hindi.
Magkaiba. Nagkaroon kayo ng minor together?
No. History major si Dennis.
Okay.
Pero, going back to moving to a new country and not feeling any connection, because you left your life behind. So sa college, may Filipino-American
community.
Student association.
Okay.
So Dennis was actually freshman orientation ko. Dennis was
junior.
Yes. I think. Maybe.
Kayo pa rin ang boyfriend mo sa Philippines yung time na yun?
Yes.
Ooh, juicy.
No, not juicy.
Okay.
This is how I met him.
Okay, timeline. Ayusin ang timeline. Okay, go.
So, and tawag doon, I just passed by and then he's like, "Hi, I'm Dennis." Like,
totoong storya to. Walang unabridged tong storyang to, ha?
yeah.
Okay,
Talaga,
go.
I was like passing by and then like, yung kaibigan goes, "She looks like a fob. Go talk to her."
Okay, so nag-usap kayo ni Dennis and then?
We became friends.
So,
at that time, may nililigawan siya. So,
alam mo guys, interesting tong story lang to because, okay, so friend zone kayong dalawa.
yes.
May boyfriend ka, alam niya.
Yes.
May nililigawan siya, alam mo.
Yes.
Keep going. Tapos, this is interesting, ha? Very interesting. I like
Why is it interesting?
Because people go through this stuff, right?
That's true. So, me and my then boyfriend broke up.
Bakit? Because of Dennis?
No. Not because of Dennis. At
The
all.
burden of proof is on you. Paano naging hindi kay Dennis? Magkakilala kayo ni Dennis, friends kayo ni Dennis, tapos may boyfriend ka.
I can't disclose details because the other person
Is not here?
is not here,
Okay.
and perhaps
He would rather
I
let
would
it
rather
go.
let it go because it's in the past. You put your past and you're behind.
Okay, good. So ang sa akin, is it okay for you to have an LDR? For yung mga naka-LDR listening to this, and then having a guy friend who is physically present
Because I didn't see him as
boyfriend potential.
not at the moment or not at the
This is getting juicy. So ikaw, wala ka nararamdaman nung may nililigawan siya.
no. He was just a friend. He was friend.
Paano ilan years bago nag-pivot from friend to lovers?
A year?
Ang bilis, ha?
Yep.
A year.
Mm-hmm.
I'll drink to that.
A year, maybe.
Paano?
It just one day. It just happened and it was like
Huwag mo i-shortcut, Danrochelle. Pinag-uusapan na natin kayong dalawa ni Dennis. So who brought it up?
I think it was just a mutual bringing up.
So, okay. So kung mutual bringing up a year, which month mo na-realize na, you know what, hindi lang friend ang pwede dito, ah. This is boyfriend potential. When did you realize that? Nakipag-split ka ba muna sa boyfriend mo sa Pilipinas bago mo na-realize yun? Or, na-realize mo yun kaya ka nakipag-split sa boyfriend mo sa Pilipinas?
No, siyang nag-split sa akin.
Okay, nung nag-split siya sa'yo,
Yeah.
so syempre heartbroken ka. So balikat ni...
Napaka-dramatic naman.
Syempre, kasi,
Heartbroken.
syempre balikat ni Dennis ang naging sandalan mo, di ba? Kasi siya yung guy friend mo eh.
That's true. But I also had other friends.
Did you rest your head on their shoulders?
No, there was no shoulder resting, Paco.
Kahit kay Dennis?
There was no shoulder
Oh
resting.
my God. So nung nakipag-split ka kay Philippines, hindi alam ni Dennis to?
Na nag-split kami. Yeah, he knew. We were
And then sabi lang niya, talaga nag-split kayo, okay, good. Yun lang? Or, ano nangyari? Malamang, ganun nangyari, di ba?
No, he was just like, oh, okay, it's okay, it happens, and then walks away.
Seryoso?
Seryoso?
Did that intrigue you when he walked away?
No, it didn't. It was more like, what a jackass.
Sa atin dalawa ako nakainom, hindi.
Hindi mo naman alam na talagang prangka ako eh.
Okay, good.
Sabi mo walang beauty
Yes.
pageant answer.
So sinabi mo, what a jackass, right?
I didn't really say that out loud.
I mean, pero in your head, right? So when did you realize na, you know what? This is the guy for me. When was that?
It's hard to explain. It just kind of happened. It was like an aha moment.
It doesn't happen, but kinda.
It
Yung aha moment ang gusto ko malaman.
Yeah, we were in a retreat for, the same association. We were both on board. And then there was a beach and then we just started talking. How convenient there was at the beach. At a beach house. And just be like, hey. No, and then it was just like, he was sitting. I remember the moment. Because he was just sitting on the sand. So I went up and just like, hey, how are you doing? Like, nag-uusap lang kami. And then at that moment, it just felt comfortable. Like it just, those moments when you just know.
Yes.
It's not even.
Kumbaga parang there was peace.
Yeah, it was just comfortable. Like there was no pretense, nothing. It was just like.
Kailan nyo finormalize? Or did you ever formalize it na, tayo na, ganon?
Probably like a couple months after that.
What'd your friends say?
Which friends?
All your friends, your common friends.
They were, we walked into this, so sa Sisan, may lounge. So pagpasok namin after class, like, we were holding hands. So pinagtatawanan kami kasi medyo gloomy. Pagpasok daw namin, biglang nagkaroon ng sun.
Gaano katagal na kayong dalawa?
Me and Dennis?
Yeah.
Together without being married,
Yeah.
probably 22, 21 years.
Is it still
Almost.
spicy?
Spicy in a way.
Nakinamikilig pa rin. Gano'n.
Yeah,
Diba?
of course. He has these moments when we're like driving and he just like looks and I was like, oh my God. My heart, it dropped. Totally dropped. And it's,
And those things take effort, ha?
Yeah.
Diba? It just doesn't happen.
Nope.
Dapat the guy should always be pursuing his girl. Dapat yung girl should always look at the quirks and yung pagiging clumsy ng guy.
Well, to me, it's like marriage is a choice, an everyday choice.
Explain that.
You have to choose to be with it's love, it's all the fluffy stuff, but it's also work. It's also the choice of like, we're staying together. Like, this is the person na I'll grow old with.
Right.
This is the person that if anything happens to him, I feel like my heart's going to stop and I
Right.
can't breathe. And, gumunaw yung mundo type of thing. So, yeah.
Maganda. Like when you did the whole Meet the 818 interview, si Dennis was your cameraman, your producer, your everything.
Yes.
When you started Meet the 818, what was the conversation like, husband and wife?
So before Meet the 818, I had a full-time job, but I was freelancing. So I was writing for different Valley publications online and print. And then it kind of had to go on a pause because Phoebe came in.
Right.
Phoebe came into the
So
picture.
ganun nakatagal pala when you were writing, no?
Yeah, so it was 11 years ago. So my daughter came in and the focus is on being a parent, being a mom, being
Right.
the best mom and wife and parent and just
Yeah.
that whole that you can be. So that was a pause. And then my dad passed away.
I'm sorry to hear this.
It's okay. He passed away 2018. So
Recently lang, no?
yeah. So it was pretty recent.
Was he sick or biglaan na lang namatay?
No, he had stomach cancer.
Oh,
So we just caught it like later na. So it's like, what are you gonna do?
yeah.
So when he passed, the whole thing now is like, if not now, when? So that was,
So nung time na namatay ang dad mo, hindi pa kayo mag-asawa ni Dennis or mag-asawa na kayo?
No, mag-asawa na kami. Him and me, Dennis and I got married 2006.
After how many years of courtship?
He will debate because I asked for one, and he will laugh. Dennis will laugh. I asked for a day break. One day.
One day.
One day. So sabi niya, we weren't together as long as you think we were because you asked for 1 day break. I'm like, really?
So you're out of... So 22 years, so 21 years and 364 days, parang ganon, no?
Parang ganon.
Okay.
So like what, 90? Yeah, mga, but I asked for that 1 day break. So he always holds that on my head, over my head.
Now, when you said that you wanted to create Meet the 818 and pursue this, what was his reaction?
He's like, go for it.
Just like that?
Yeah, Dennis is like the force that pushes me. Like he challenges me, he pushes me, he wants me to be the best version of me.
And you naman, do you do the same thing for him?
He says I do.
Do you feel that you do?
I do. I mean, he does run a podcast. So he does, he runs Two Fanboys and a Filthy Casual. So, that's what he wants to do. So I'm always like, I always tell him like, babe, whatever's good for you, whatever you feel is going to make you happy and make you the best version of who you are.
Go do it.
Do it.
This episode is brought to you by Dr. Lourdes Capulong.
No holds barred, just do it, because that's why we're here.
Right. Now, let's talk about that philosophy now, because may mga tao who think it's okay to be mediocre until it's too late to realize na, holy cow, I only have one life to live. Diba?
True, but then ano yung mediocre para sa, like, there's standards in art. Like,
yeah, like
it's
mediocre.
different.
Mediocre would be doing a job that someone else is passionate about, not you. To me, that's mediocre.
True.
Unless they pay you good bucks. But then again, the good money is para sa pamilya mo, para sa'yo, para sa kaginawaan mo. But it doesn't change the fact that you're still doing something you don't want to do.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
Diba?
Yeah. Well, I understand that too, because there are situations where family does come first.
Right.
And you can't just like fly away and say, hey, I'm going to do my passion and not make money. And then it's like, like to me, money is not, money is for survival. So you spend within
It's a tool, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, how you feed your family and all that. Pero it would be sad if you didn't realize what you really, truly wanted to do, so.
So going back to you. So nag-computer science ka, tapos nag-psychology ka.
Mm-hmm.
But you went back into writing. Is it safe to assume that it never left you?
It never left.
Okay.
It never left. The bug was always there.
So finally, dumating ka sa crossroad or Y road ng buhay mo. What made you want to start writing again?
To my current job now? Or
Yeah.
So, Meet the 818 was my outlet for writing. That was my, because I've always wanted to write A, B, help people. So it was a good mesh because it was doing both.
When you say help people, what does that mean?
Help people in my own way. Because let's say you're a small business, you're a local, but you're not going to get featured by like Voyage LA, or not Voyage LA, but like the LA Times or, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So why not tell that story? Use my platform to tell that story, to showcase them.
So naging mission mo rin to no?
Yeah, so it's a passion, mission, vision, however you want to call it. But it's my little way of like trying to contribute na.
Okay, let's talk about that. So it's in your head, right?
Yeah.
You wanted to do this, it's in your head. And the reason why I'm setting it up this way is because there are people watching or listening who want to do something similar to what you just did and what me and Michael and JJ did.
Mm-hmm.
Pero hirap na hirap sila to take action.
Yeah.
Apparently you did. So when this thought germinated in your head, what were the steps that you needed to take to get to the first step?
There really wasn't a plan. I just kind of
Did
shot
it,
from
right?
the hip.
Yeah.
It was like, just,
And that's where you, ano sinasabi natin, Mike? Ready, fire, aim?
yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it. Like, do a website, get a social media account, and just go. Take photos, talk to people, collaborate.
And then what happened?
And then I lost my job. I'm just
So candid.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Hey, you're getting everything and more.
I am. You gotta write about this, Meet the 818.
I will. My experience at Paco's place on Taco Tuesday. First off, there was a conversation. It was interesting. Secondly, I can't look at him right now.
So vulnerable.
The full experience. It was a wide I can't even talk. Spectrum.
So okay, going back, di ba? Yung part na yun na parang okay, I need to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yung epiphany na yun. What was the conversation like? And what compelled you yung challenges to actually take the first step? Can you share that?
So the first step was make a website. So
Did you know how to make a website? Computer science ka eh.
yes, I do.
Okay.
That's why I was like, oh, I have many tools in my
Okay,
arsenal.
that's
Let's
good,
just,
that's good.
So I just structured that, and then I started, going. I would drag Dennis and Phoebe into like adventures, just like,
Really?
hey, let's go to this restaurant. Oh, let's go to this.
So
this
para
event."
siyang vlog.
Parang ganon.
Okay.
But it's more writing. It's more, because I didn't like being in front of the camera. I didn't like the spotlight on me.
So, sabi pala kami ni Michael, halimbawa napunta kami sa Silver Lake Ramen sa Porter Ranch.
Uh-huh.
So, pwede pala kami gumawa ng review, no? Tapos ilagay yung content na yan sa Meet the 818.
Yes, pwede kung gusto niyo.
Okay. Now we know.
I'll have like a Paco's Place
Corner, no?
corner.
Sige. So when this happened, was Dennis fully on board? And the reason why I'm asking is because when your spouse is on board with what you do, you can exponentially do better.
He was.
Like, shout out ako kay Jaja at kay Ives because
Yes.
if not for Jaja and for Ives, kaming dalawa ni Michael would be struggling to do this.
Yeah, I think your spouse has to be on board with whatever project you have, or else it's going to be difficult. Because, like right now, there's
Yeah.
babysitting.
And you see it. You see the behind the scenes of
Yeah.
what this podcast is, di ba?
Exactly.
Like in your case, ikaw si Dennis, si Phoebe, like kasama ni Dennis ngayon si Phoebe, may ginagawa sila kanina, may
Yeah.
coaching and all that. How does it feel to be alone coming here sa Paco's Place?
I was sad.
Oh, no.
I wanted to take them with me.
Di ba? Di ba?
Yeah, but it's a school night, so and they've had a really long day.
Si ex-boyfriend, nakakausap mo pa, hindi na.
Hindi na. Because, once you get married, that's it.
Explain that to people who are currently married and having this kind of conflict. What was your mindset and what was your principle?
My thing is, Dennis is my always and forever. Oh my God. So mushy.
It's so nice.
So so you don't want to do anything to damage that.
Right.
Because once that gets damaged or that gets
Wala na.
no more. It's trust, it's respect, it's like all those years of like building that and growing together. How do you
Boundaries, meron kayo.
boundaries as far as
you guys being married is concerned, like boundaries in marriage, meron yan eh, di ba? Like don't cuss at me.
Oh yeah, I mean, but it's like it's never been spoken. It's like it was always unspoken. Like fight fair,
Right. Women don't fight fair. O, naku po siya sa comments ang dami.
Hala, lagot ka kay Jaja.
I should know. Asawa ko si Jaja. Every word will be taken against you.
Well, I believe in fighting fair.
Sige nga, tingnan nga natin definition mo ng fair.
Wag kang magsasalita ng hindi mo matitake back.
Oh. So pag sinabi ko sa'yo, buwisit ka, sasabihin mo rin sa akin,
Okay, bahala ka dyan. Bye.
okay.
Ayaw niya ng silent treatment. Dennis hates when I do this. Because hindi siya intentional. It's more of like I have to process it in my head. Again, goes back to the power of words.
Yes.
Like, what can I tell you? How can I make you understand how I'm feeling right now without...
Hurting your feelings or causing agitation, parang gano'n?
Yes.
Okay.
Without making you feel inferior. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense kasi sometimes I catch myself mansplaining eh.
Oh, yeah. I call him out. I'm like, I give him a look. I don't even have to say anything. And it's like, oh, I'm mansplaining.
Pero how do you, like you're a woman, I'm a man.
Mm-hmm.
Minsan pag nag-uusap kami ni Jaja, I catch myself going, naintindihan mo ba? And sometimes I feel that when I say that, it's insulting to a woman. But at the same time, ang gusto ko lang mangyari is validation na naintindihan mo yung sinabi ko and you concur. Di ba? Parang ganun yung dating, di ba? My intention is not to mansplain but to elaborate kung bakit hindi gagana yung naiisip mong idea. Is it the same with you?
I don't take it into offense because I know who Dennis is and I know how he explains things, and I know when he's just trying to put his point of view out there. So
using analogies, diba?
Exactly. But then sometimes when it's like, okay, dude, pump the brakes. I completely get it. I'm on your wavelength.
So pag sinabi mo na yun, pump the brakes, I completely get it. I'm on your wavelength. Do you expect him to just shut up? Wala nang recap, wala nang...
No, he goes, okay, no problem.
Okay.
So he kind of just like, okay, he backs away because he already knows.
Are you guilty of saying that but not meaning it? Or do you mean it na talaga you guys are on the same wavelength? You get where he's coming from and you understand the message of what's going on. Tama ba?
Yeah. Of course, there are times na, you're only human and you have moods.
Yes.
And there's the eye roll.
Men don't have that.
That's when it's like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I will strangle you right now. But I'm going to keep it in because I will strangle you.
Grabe rin, no?
There are moods. And it's just, again, it's like every couple, yung standards, yung interaction ng each couple is different.
Yes.
So yung standard ko, hindi standard nyo.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes, perfectly know what you mean. So now let's bring in the in-laws.
Yes.
Kasi kayo as husband and wife, magkaiba na yung standard nyo eh. Meron ka ng sarili mong parameters, meron siya sarili niyang parameters. Sinong in-law, without really hitting on any in-law, sinong in-law madalas sa bahay nyo? Father, side ni Dennis o side mo?
So it's complicated, but the closest
No, it's
in-law,
not.
it is. But I will, closest in-law is my mom. So my family is always like
there
around,
by default.
By default, because they're closer. My in-laws are further. Of course, it's like more of a drive, more of a flying sometimes. So
now that you have your mom with you, and you have the kids rounded up by your mom, is it easier that way?
Yes and no.
Explain the no.
Because you have to watch their personalities.
Kasi magkakaiba sila eh, no?
Yeah. Because it's different. It's when it's just you as a family, as a couple, it's just, that's
that's your clique.
Exactly. But then when you have to manage different personalities and it becomes a little complicated.
Like the twins. You have twins.
Who has twins?
Technically. Kunyari, hypothetically.
Okay. I was like, I have twins?
No.
This is news to me.
No. Like let's say si Phoebe may twins. Okay? Hypothetical lang to. So now, sinasabi mo ima-manage mo. Diba? How do you deal with different personalities? May asawa ka na opinionated, may anak ka, hindi ko alam kung opinionated siya. Times 2 natin sila. How do you deal with that? And you're opinionated also, and you were using the power of words. Where does everything come in?
Oh, it's a lot of filtering and a lot of like, give me 10 minutes, give mommy 10 minutes.
Pero ito tanong ko sa'yo, as a writer, as a person with expression and opinion and articulation, how do you hold it back in? And how does it affect you when you hold it back in?
Oh, it's a lot of stress.
So yun ginawa ko. Times 2 ko lang, ha?
It's a lot of stress. Like holding in, filtering, that's a stressful process because you can't really,
bring it out.
Yeah. Because you have to...
So ito ang tanong. Will you forever keep it in or will it eventually come out?
I have to find that balance. I will tell you, it's not perfect. I have to kind of like...
Grabe, no? Hirap, no?
Kasi mahirap because sometimes when you keep too much in, then it's just going to explode. And that's when you have to say, I'm going to drive down the street.
And hit the first pedestrian I see.
5 points if it's a chicken.
Hindi, pero di ba?
Yeah.
Totoo yun eh.
Yeah, it's true.
If you have so many things to say, tapos wala kang audience, or wala nang tao pwede makinig sa'yo, ang hirap nun.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about your siblings. Sa inyo magkakapatid, all 4 of you, are you the only one who's articulate o lahat sila?
Opinionated?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they pretty...
Talaga? Oh my God.
They are, but in our own way. So, kasi syempre, apat yan. That's 4 different lives, 4 different... So, me and the second one are 3.5 years apart.
Yes.
Her and the
A
third
year and a
one,
half.
a year and a half, 2 years.
Then nakinagawa ko yung
I know,
math.
wow.
Saudi. Okay. The 4th one, hindi pinag-usapan eh.
4th one is actually, I'm 15 years older.
Ooh.
So that's a huge gap.
Yan, parang na-boy lang silang dalawa brownout.
No, kasi napagod yung tatay ko, puro babae daw eh.
So, trinay niya na maglalaki.
Yes.
Babae na naman. Oh my God.
Nakakatawa yun. So, nag C-section yung nanay ko. Kasama ko yung tatay ko. And then, lumabas yung doktor.
Sabi, babae ulit.
Kasi walang,
Yes.
no ultrasounds.
Yes.
So, sabi niya, oh, congratulations, Mr. Dionisio. You have a bouncing baby girl. Ngiti ng daddy, oh,
Plastic.
thank you. Kailangan walang pangalan for a girl because talagang expected nila lalaki. So, I'm like, okay, Dad, maglakad tayo.
Speaking of names, Danrochelle, is that their names?
Yes, so it's Danny and Rosie. So, Danrochelle. Pinsan ko si Michelle. So, hence the shell.
How did it feel na yun ang pangalan mo?
I like it. It's sa Pilipinas, dalawa may first name.
Pero you said dikit na dikit yung pangalan na yan. That's one word.
Yeah.
Did they call you Danny?
When they're angry, I'm called Rochelle.
Oh, just Rochelle.
Yes, in a very angry tone. Parang, Rochelle! Oh my God. Yes! What did I do now?
Si Phoebe, ba't di mo ginawang combination yung name niya?
Good question. I kind of wanted her to have her own personality and her own
Rochelle
person.
Den
Rochelle. Actually, that was one of the names.
Seryoso?
Yeah, Den Rochelle. Dennis and,
And then, yeah.
Pero sabi ko, well, no. She kind of let her be her own person. So, hindi namin kunambay.
So now, having all this, right? You have a publication. You have a good family. You have a good husband backing you up. You have a daughter who's into sports, not into drugs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Diba?
Double,
Exactly.
knock.
Ano pa ang gusto ng isang Danrochelle sa buhay niya?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't know. Write my own book?
Seryoso?
Like, write my own book?
I mean, the book is, feeling ko inevitable yung book eh.
Yeah, no, I have like this concept. Like, meron akong concept, pero, I don't know yet. I haven't fleshed it out yet. It's like,
but like someone like you, ano pa ang gusto mo sa buhay mo?
to be honest,
You have to be.
like I haven't been. Like your most candid interview ever, Paco. Oh my gosh.
Shit, kailangan lumabas talaga ng ganito. Pucha, pag pinanood ko yung edit dito, parang, papalabas mo natin to.
Huwag mo nang palabasin.
Hindi, game to. Fight. Okay, go.
Honestly,
Ano pa ang gusto ng isang Danrochelle?
gusto ko lang talaga, like, masaya si Phoebes, masaya si Dennis, and just, everyone's healthy. And I know that sounds like lip service, but
No, not really. But it's too selfless. What's for you?
I don't know.
Please, this might be an opportunity for them to realize, oh, this is what mom wants, or this is what babes wants. Oh, diba?
True.
Wants. Okay.
Want. Grammar police.
Grammar police. Baka matroll tayo. Choose your own adventure.
Choose your own adventure. Do you go to column A or do you go?
Diba? So, pero yun nga.
I know, I haven't thought that far. I haven't, I'm kind of just enjoying the moment.
It's all about moments.
Yeah.
Because I always say moments need to be created. Because moments create memories. And memories create merchandise.
Napaka-hallmark.
Hindi. Negosyante nga eh. Triple M. Di ba? Sa music kasi, when you're performing, totoo. Natotroll ako. When you're performing, you create moments within the pocket of the song.
Of course.
Those moments turn into memories.
Mm-hmm.
To immortalize the memory, people go out and buy merchandise to help them remember. But it starts with the moment.
This is true. This
Diba?
is true.
So let's talk about Meet the 818 because sa amin ni na Michael Abadi na JJ Buwan Camino, that was our moment. A moment namin yun eh. And so nung napanood na namin yung video, tuwan-tuwa kami dahil it was the first time that someone actually featured us. And it was you guys.
Which I'm surprised. I mean, you guys do really good work. I've been watching the podcasts.
This episode is brought to you by ABBA e-Services.
Seriously. Not as good as Wendy Lindo and Mick Diaz because they get all the recognition. Kami, we've been sa back of the bus kami.
So what have you been doing wrong?
I don't know. I think our podcast is too long.
No, your podcast is just right and it has content and quality.
Okay, masyado ba akong mashed? Si Michael natato siya. Siguro sasabihin ni Michael, marami tayong i-edit out dito.
Ay, no, kawawa naman.
Wala tayong i-edit out. But then again, thank you for doing that for us.
Of
Now,
course.
with regard to Meet the 818, what can we expect?
Moving forward?
Yes.
Just a lot of collaborations. Like, kailan ba? Like, last Saturday. So, past Meet the 818, part of the job. And I'm just going to share this story really quickly. So, really quickly.
Okay.
I've been in healthcare for about 18 years. And
As what?
As staffing coordinator.
Okay.
So, home health, home care.
Sakit sa ulo yan, staffing coordinator. Sakit sa ulo yan. They call you in the middle of the night.
Yes, on
Shit.
call.
Yeah.
But then I when I had Phoebe, I moved up to being the assistant to the COO.
Okay.
So that was also stressful.
Yeah.
Shout out to my old boss. I love you. I'll see you next week. But the funny thing is, like, you know, we talk about moments, we talk about dreams,
Yes.
and we talk about motivation. Sometimes it just happens. Like
Explain
pieces just fall
they fall
into
into place. Okay.
Yes, things just fall into place.
I couldn't agree more.
So let's say you've worked your butt off, you've made collaborations, and you know it's taking off, and you kind of just want to get that finally.
Yes.
But you know you're scared because what if?
What if it fails? So may mga risk factors.
Yeah.
Are you a risk taker?
Half and half?
Explain
I feel like I take calculated risks.
Ooh.
I know.
Is there such a thing?
You know, it's more of like weighing
Parang unicorn yan eh. Calculated risk.
calculated risk. Do I just like I don't know. It's like anong tawag doon? Not bungee jumping. Zip lining.
Yes.
You just jump.
You just go, right?
Just go.
So now, calculated risk.
Mhm.
Taking all these in.
Yeah.
Starting a career. Having your family behind you.
Mhm.
When did you know that, you know what guys, this is what we're going to do? Kailan lumabas yun?
So, ang nangyari, is it earlier last year. Or no, 2021.
Okay.
The owners sold the company to a different company. So, they actually shut down the home health department. So
That was your department?
Yes. So a lot of people got laid off. So at that point, I was collaborating with my now job, which is Cow Communications. And I was writing blogs for them.
Yeah.
And, you know, after that collaboration, that particular collaboration, they said, hey, let's go on, let's do part-time. So I was doing part-time with them as a writer. And then when I got that whole like, hey.
Oxnard pa rin to, ha?
Huh?
Saan to? You would do it from home?
Yeah, so I was doing the writing at home.
Okay.
So technically I was holding down 2 jobs for a little bit.
So nagmo-moonlight ka technically?
Yeah, technically. Actually, technically 3 jobs. Pag sinama mo yung Meet the 818, so 3 jobs.
Okay.
So nung, you know, I was just like thinking, anong gagawin ko?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I've been with this for 18 years and then I don't feel like this is what I want to do anymore. This is not my calling. And I could just feel it. Like, you know, when you feel that there's change that's coming and you can just
Hindi mo na
feel it.
mapipigilan yun eh.
Hindi na.
Yeah.
So, ang ginawa ko, I asked them like, hey, are you looking for a full-time writer? Because I'm available.
So wait, lumapit ka, nagtanong ka.
Dahil, anong sasabihin nila? No?
Can you explain that? Can you explain that to the introverts na nahihiya?
The worst thing they can say is no.
Okay.
Because people don't want to ask the question because they're afraid of failure and rejection. But the thing is, there comes a point in your life where you just have to just go balls out and just say, either you like me or you don't like me. So, you know, but you know your worth and you know what you bring to the table.
Shit, yan ang problema ko, Mike. You know your worth. Well, you know your worth and what you bring to the table, di ba?
Know your worth and what you bring to the table. Because without that, how are you gonna move forward? How are you gonna say that this is truly what you want and this is what you truly, the direction of your life?
So now let's bring it home with, how do you tell people to train themselves to know their worth?
You can't. It's their personal journey. You can't tell them like what to do. You can't tell them how it's gonna come. It's personal. Does that make sense? Sorry.
Do you know your worth?
Do I know my worth? I do most days. There are days when I don't, but there are days that I do.
Does it make you smile?
Yes, it does.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Danrochelle Yumul. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and visit the website, Meet the 818.
Thank you so much.